Straight out the South, Arkansas, where the talk is real and the vibe is raw. This South got something to say. No filters, no faking, just the truth, how we see it. So kick back, tap in, and let's get to it. The Still Country Podcast, Still Country Podcast, Still Country Podcast. Show the money, Still Country Podcast, Still Country Podcast, Still Country Podcast.
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Eli Isabell, and welcome to the Still Country Podcast. You at the right place at the right time. Happy Thursday, man. I'm excited to be here tonight. Man, we got the show for y'all tonight, and I got some good people sitting with me, man. But before we get into that, please like, subscribe, and share all things Still Country Podcast. Also, remember that you can watch the show and listen on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. Check us out, man. Let's get these numbers up and rolling. Also, thank you guys for the numbers on YouTube. I'm seeing you guys checking us out. I appreciate it. Help a brother get to where, the little engine that could help a brother out, man. And thank you guys. Thank you. Listen, we have a great show for y'all tonight. I'm sitting here with two people I got much love for, man. One I've known since I was 5 or 6. One I've known since I was about 17. So damn, we got some old heads in here, man. But listen, I'm allowed the fellows to introduce themselves. To my left, your right. Talk to the people.
What's good? Corey Van, Mr. AKA Education Under Investigation.
I heard that Camden Wyoming Spanish. That's how I leave that out. CR alumni in the building. Appreciate you, dog. But next, I'm gonna introduce my partner, man. And if I leave something out, you feel free to get in there.
Go for it.
Because I got a couple of things I want to say to you first. First and foremost, man, we've been rocking for a minute, and I know everybody knows that, so that's overstated already. But I just want to take a minute to give you your flowers, bro. Coming from where we come from in Arkansas, a lot of people don't get to where you have. So I wanted to make sure I give you your flowers, man. I've seen you grow. I've seen you go beyond probably even your wildest dreams. Definitely the people back home. I know you started out as a great athlete, and then you transitioned to being an egghead. Literally. Very smart. Went on and got that master's degree, then got that PhD. You might be the only friend I have that has a PhD. So I want to just take a chance to give you your flowers, bro. And listen, this is my boy, Dr. Andre Benny Haley. Welcome to the show, bro.
What up, everybody? Benny Haley, straight from Terrell, Arkansas. What's good? Appreciate the love, Eli. Glad to be on the set, man. Appreciate it.
Represent, man. Listen, people be like, man, you want Big Pain? You ain't jealous? I say, jealous? That's my brother. Why would I be? I said, I'm proud of him, if anything. So definitely never no jealousy and whatever Benny got going on here, I'm a part of it too.
Absolutely. For
sure. What up, 1-1? Shout out to the T-Town. Thank you, babe. All right, y'all. Tonight, title of this show is Labor and Love, the Legacy of Black Fatherhood. There's always one person in the background that does this thing every week.
After she's been told not to do it. If you saw the last show, I said several times to her. If you guys saw me looking that way all the time, that's because I was talking to her. Like the background, pipe down, background. All right, go ahead. Go and grab one. Go duck under them if you can. Really, go grab Chance. Right. So yeah, man. So listen, we got that tonight is Labor and Love, the Legacy of Black Fatherhood. Oh my God. Before I get into that, I would be remiss if I did not mention our one and only sponsor. Listen, I'm proud that somebody thinks enough of my show to want to rock with me. Shout out to Nick AI. They are great. They're there for all your AI solution business. If you have a small business and you would like services from an AI perspective, please reach out to Nick AI. They are LANICAI.com. Reach out to them for all your artificial intelligence needs, or shoot me a message and I'll put you directly in contact with those good people over there at Nick AI. Chaz, welcome to the group, baby.
What's going on? How y'all doing?
Get that mic, pull that thing up.
What's going on? How everybody doing?
Chaz, so because we're a little hood right here. So Chaz, Corey, Chaz.
How you doing?
Chaz, Benny, Chaz.
Yes, sir.
This is how we do it. So yeah, man. So shout out to Nick AI, man. I appreciate the love y'all showing us. Let's get into the topic, man. Well, not the main topic, but I want to read a quote from Mason Betha, not of all people, but of Mason Betha. Something he said about boys being raised by their mothers, and then we'll kind of expand on that a little bit. And I'm quoting as best I could. When you are raised by your mom, you are a different man, and you don't like hearing stuff from men. They have never heard a man's take. He says we have a problem. Men have a problem with authority, but they just have a problem hearing things from another man. What do you guys think about that? Boys who are raised by their mom, or if you're in a house where your mom is a dominant figure, you think those guys struggle with being out in the world and having to deal with men?
Depends on how you raised by your mom too. Because if you got uncles, if you got mentors around, coaches, you still got male figures in your life, it can still help out other than, being around all women. So that plays a part.
Yeah, and I've known some brothers that was raised by their mom, and they take authority well from other men. So I think that's kind of stereotypical, really, that, and it's based on who that guy is when he grows up, So
do you? Okay, go ahead, Benny. My bad.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, so to I think what you guys said, there is some is definitely valid, but there are some guys, especially this generation we're in now. Think about how these young boys, when the coach is on them, they talk, they're very emotional, they're yelling, they're screaming. My high school coach, Coach Battle, he coaches at Georgetown now. He's assistant coach at Georgetown. And I ran into him a couple of years ago at the Slam Dunk to the Beach tournament. I did not say, Coach, what's the biggest difference in these guys that you coach now compared to us? He was like, they are soft. He says, you yell at them, they want to transfer. They call on their parents. He says, we can't even coach them because the parents, the moms, and the uncles are all involved. We're telling them one thing, and they're listening to them. So we always butt heads. So I think that I'm not going to just put it on this current generation, but I think that when you do have that feminine perspective in your life, it does something a little different to you.
Yeah.
Not to every boy, of course, but to some boys.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna push back a little bit on that, just a little bit. I think that one, when you have a dominant female figure in your life, that's just one part of the upbringing, right? So you got to look at some of the environmental stuff as well.
Okay.
Right. My man was saying, if you don't have a male figure, right? Well, you can have a male figure be the most negative male figure.
Correct.
Right? So,
correct.
Right. You know what I mean? Also, I think if we want to kind of like instill some of the ways of the traditions or the old into this generation, we got to stop saying this generation and us. Like there's already an inherent divide when we like even now, just to kick the show off, but we're talking about a division. It ain't them versus us, right? It's us. Right? You know what I mean? Us growing up, whether it was positive, negative, we had both sides of the coin, right? Mm-hmm. But we stayed in our lane because we had a community. So I think what's really missing is it's not so much as having only a female or a dominant female figure in the person's life. It's just that community feel.
Yeah, you can't. Like in Camden, you do something, you get struck by the neighbor, and you go home and you get.
Oh, y'all did that here too.
Oh
Yeah.
I had one. Like I'm walking past his house, he see me doing something wrong. He grabbed me up by my collar, take me to my dad, and it's on again. So yeah, that's not now. It's don't touch my kids. So you got that going on. Yeah, like you said, there's no community effort in all this.
Right. And a lot of it started because some of our the adults we see now, they were babies when they had their baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they had to grow up really fast, and a part of that growing up is having to defend their territory. And their territory at that age was their baby. That's all they really, quote unquote, owned.
Well, think about it. We've always had young parents. Now, I think the key was that those people who had kids early, they had solid grandparents who helped raise those kids. Now the grandparents are 35 and 40 years old. They're out here. They're on Instagram. They live in their life. So that is a part of it too. I think that's part of, and not to mention the man may or not be there, but that's a part of the breakdown, I think, in the family structure.
Yeah. I mean, and the internet, social media, that's the number one, I think, catalyst for a lot of some of the behaviors that we see, right? Especially when you're young, your brain not developing, you're going to mimic what you see. The most dominant thing we see is Instagram or TikTok, whatever the case is, right? I think, even as full-grown adults, as seasoned as we are, I'm gonna use I statement. Sometimes I fall prey to the comparison and the overanalyzation of myself based on somebody. I remember there was something about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, right? And they were just saying, certain things about him. And I found myself comparing myself to The Rock. I'm like, dude, compare yourself. So I think our babies, man, like, again, they started young. They're exposed to so much negative stimuli. I think it's incumbent of us, ways of the old, the traditionalists, right? We need to step in and look for ways to connect and not be so, I think, divisive in our outlook of this generation.
Yeah, there's a young man, a kid. My son went to high school when we were in Texas. He went to Tybee, and there was this kid that the first thing they told me is keep your son away from this kid. And I'm like, man, what's up? You know, the kid had an attitude, but when you pull the kid to the side and speak to him, because I don't think he like that he didn't have a father figure,
Right.
and just speaking to him, he wanted that from his coaches and others, but only thing they seen was, oh, he's a troublemaker.
Wow.
But seeing that kid probably before I moved from Texas and went to Alabama, the kid is doing extremely well.
Nice.
You know,
awesome.
So somebody got in his ear, but it was upsetting that, you know, his coaches and all the people in the high school always looked at it as he's not gonna be nothing to keep your son away from. But no, why not draw, you know, if you see something good, draw into him and like because my son got along with him pretty well. But everybody's like, nah, that's not who you. I mean, no, yeah, he's not hanging out. Like, yeah, he's not going out and doing stuff he's doing because dad's not gonna allow him to go out that far. Right. But if he ever invites him to the house, maybe he can see some structure and say, oh man, yeah, I don't want to go out and do those things, but there's no one to give him that structure. That's what made everybody say, oh, that's a bad kid. Yeah. So nobody took time to grab him up and say, hey man, let's talk.
Right. Do y'all think that and Corey, you said something earlier about when you were a kid, and me and Vinny lived this too. When you did some shit in the street and another adult saw it, they got on your ass.
Absolutely.
Right? And today we can't do that. You can do it, but
you might have charged.
Yeah, you definitely. That's in sports and everything.
Yeah. And again, I don't know how we lost that sense of community where, like, if I'm telling your kid something for his own good, why are you mad at me for correcting? Like, you can't. Kids today are, and the parents are the worst. Some parents are the worst because you allow your kid to be without correction.
Right.
And it's crazy. So that, I think that's part of it too. You can't correct another kid. It's you know, people get upset about that.
Yeah.
And if you do, and that kid listens to you and not to that parent, then that parent feel like, well,
that's a problem too.
Like, they feel a little bit like, what am I doing wrong? So now they definitely don't want you to do something that they can't do.
Yeah,
they can't control.
Yeah. Also, I think again, let's go back to some of the parents that we're talking about and the parents that we see day to day, right? These are really young. They start off as young parents, right? And when you have that responsibility, assuming that you have your child and you try to raise your child and work and do what you got to do, you may have a grandparent or whatever, but at that point, a lot of the development stop because you have to go from being a teenager, right, 16 or 17, and now you're about to raise a kid, right?
Yeah,
a baby, and
that's
the
a
only
fact.
thing in your life you can say is mine. So you're gonna be protective of it, you're gonna be defensive of it, but you're doing all of that without the development and the support that you really need, right? Again, and I'm guilty of it too. So I'm not even on my soapbox talking. I'm guilty of it because we talk offline a lot, and we've done a lot to get to certain stations in life where it's certain kids that I see. I know I ain't saying nothing, and I know I'm not gonna say nothing to their parents. And I'm going to tell my family, don't say nothing to them, right? So, again, I think that community feel, America's a litigious nation. So you say something, you're going to get sued or you're going to have to fight or shoot your way out for the most part. And I'd rather just say, you know what? You do you, I do me.
Yeah, I think that's what it really is. What he just like, it's everybody's on their individual type of thing. Like, look, me and my family, as long as we good, we're going to mind our business. Because when you do try to help, you get involved in a lot of different stuff that you didn't ask for. And sometimes, all your help ain't good help either. Yeah. So,
I was in a track meet about 2 weeks ago, right? One of my kids, he runs track. He's in middle school. And so I was trying to get his attention. You know how they're always in the middle of the field, right? In the middle of the track field. So, and one of the kids on this track team came running over to his mom. And I said very... I'm saying dry face.
Like what?
Very soft features, right? Long locks, everything. And I said, excuse me, young man. And I said, excuse me, young lady. Could you get Tamir? I was about, and then mom said, mom snapped.
That's crazy.
I said, excuse me, young lady. She was like, he is a boy. Do he look like a girl? And then I was like, I was so caught off guard. I was like, in my head, I was like, hell yeah, he like a goddamn girl. Look at it. He's like a girl, not fully developed, but you like a little girl, buddy. And I was like, I said, my apologies. I meant no disrespect. I was just trying to. She's like, well, you need to look closer. I'm like, and this is the weird part because you might know this. Remember when they had the cafe downstairs? And that little gay dude worked down there in the CS
Mm-hmm.
building.
Yeah.
So I went there one time to get some coffee right now. He looked just like a dude. Just like a dude. He had his hair in a little bun though. He did have some tight jeans on, shirt tied up in the front. All I wanted was some sugar. I said, excuse me, sir. In my mind, I'm being respectful. Excuse me, sir. Can I get some sugar? He was like, sir, did you see all these hips and these tight jeans? Do I look like a man? Yeah, nigga, you look like a man. Are you like a dude with tight jeans on his shirt tied up in the front? Like, so if I don't know you, if I know you and I dress you wrong, that's one thing. Yeah, but I don't know you, dude. So what are you doing? And even so, I feel bad about the little kid at the track meet. But like, we're in a crazy world right now. You don't even know what to call people. Right. Yeah.
You say, excuse me. That's it.
Right.
Excuse me. Can you?
Don't call him. Just say excuse me.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna look at you. Talking to you.
But like, again, that just goes to what we're talking about, like the fabric of our community. Like that's basic social skills. If I don't know you and I call you something that you're not, the way to respond to that is not being defensive and almost about to throw down, right? It's like, I address me as such. But if you don't know, why would you say that to someone just to start an argument? But again, you go back to social skills. Yeah. Everybody's defensive.
Society has built that. Yeah, like we're all looking for offenses. We're all looking to be offended some type of way. Yeah, it's just crazy.
I'm drowsy by nature.
Yeah, it's crazy. You have to really, I had a kid says, "Oh yeah, I want to change my sex. I want to be addressed as a tree." I was like, "A tree? Why?" He was like, "Because of my choice. I can't." I was like,
"Yeah."
They gave them the option. That's why they doing stuff like that. The cat dog stuff and all that. Yeah, that's crazy. Dressing up like the animals on all fours and all that nonsense is wild. Yep. They doing it though. They doing it. I ain't judging. I'm just saying that's not my. I wouldn't do it.
Listen,
you're not doing it in my house.
Yeah. So I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole with you because I feel you. I'm with the same, even with all the letters. Yeah. In my household, we going. Yeah.
They want to date the opposite sex, and the rule is 16. Then you still can't date. There's still rules, no matter how you identify.
Yeah.
If you like boys, you like boys. Negro, you still can't date till you 16. Whatever my rule is. Yeah. If you choose to take boy, I mean.
So are you letting your son have a boyfriend come over?
Yeah, no, we're probably not gonna do that.
So yeah, that's where I draw the line, right? Because that's what I'm saying. Like
armpits.
But you're allowing him to date at 16.
Yeah, well, I'm probably.
Yeah.
My daughter dated, and he did come to the house. He was in the living room. I was right the stairwell looking down. Like, no, don't try it. But now, if it was two boys, would I be? Because
I had this conversation with my kids. They'll be 13 this year, and I told them like I don't know how I'm going to take it as a man with my boys liking boys because I can't relate.
Yeah.
My daughter liking a girl, I could probably ease that out a little bit better. I can ease that one out a little bit better. I'm not okay with it, but we can get down to you want to still marry a man and all that. Okay, you might be just going through something. But my boy, you it's like I told them, you're not coming back from that. I just can't, I just don't see it.
I mean, you still gotta support.
No, I'll love you, but I'm not showing up to no weddings. You're not having no boyfriends in my house. I'm not going to no weddings. I'm not doing none of that. It's not happening. It's not happening. I love you. I'll give him a gift. I'll give him a gift because that's your choice. I'm not like that's you, but I'm not showing up happy about this. It's not happening. I'm not even gonna lie to my kids like that. Straight up.
Even if you do that, that don't mean you're anti.
Correct.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just like you say, if you don't support it, I don't mean you're against something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like black people, if we're pro-black, that don't mean we're anti-black.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, for me, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was country boy, raised Baptist, the whole nine. I think my thinking has expanded over time. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm a lot more inclusive with everyone except my own.
Yeah.
However, I'm just keeping it real. So I haven't had to address anything like that to that extent. I like to say that I will be inclusive and supportive. I'm going to always be supportive. Like there's nothing my kids can do to make me not supportive.
Yeah.
But it'll be a tough pill for me to swallow only because of some of my core beliefs, right? I'm talking about my higher power and
absolutely
things like that. So when you start to thinking about this array of things and big feelings you have, it's a tough decision to make, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't envy the people who have to make that decision,
right?
And, I mean, at one point I may have to make that decision, and it's a decision I have to make at that time. But I'm a lot more inclusive and broader thinking than I used to.
You like to think so because you don't have to deal with it.
No,
that's the caveat, right? Like
no,
it hits you in the face with your.
So do you have children?
I have two. Yeah.
Okay.
It hit me in the face before, right?
Okay.
But not with my kids, but with loved ones.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's never hit me in the face with my children, right? However, I've been put in situations, and not just with their sexual identity, but with other stuff that I may not intrinsically agree with.
Correct.
But I'm inclusive of it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I grew up with dope dudes like doing drugs in my face, right? I never did drugs, right? But I didn't disown them or disband them because they
correct.
I wasn't doing.
Absolutely.
I totally didn't agree with it, right? And I felt bad, but I accepted them and I met them where they are. Right. I know it's probably way a little different because of what we're talking about. I like to think that when it comes to my kids, that I'm going to be inclusive. I'm still going to say what I need to say.
Absolutely.
In my opinion. But ultimately, if you like it, I love it. That's what I'm saying right now.
Yeah.
But God.
Yeah, no.
You got a son, right?
I got a son. I got two sons and a daughter.
So little Corey.
He ain't going for it. That's what it sounds like.
Little Corey and my daughter too. And it's I'm going to share my wife's right here. We both was like, hey, do what you want to do, but it can't come to our door.
I respect that.
And we love her. But I don't know if it was an experiment or whatever. She might have been going through at the time, but she already knew none of this can cross the threshold of the Van house.
Right.
But you can come, we do everything we want to do. But in our household, this is not allowed.
And it's okay to have
that's the
point of it. So that's the extent of where it went with us. And that's true. So my son, I don't know. Thank Lord, thank you for both of this. But I just don't know if with my son, like you said, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how I would deal with it.
Well, that's in this society, I'm sorry. In society, that's how men are raised to be, right? There's always, and the women, you guys can kind of attest to this. It's different rules between men and women. You know what I'm saying? Like Ben was just saying how the two girls, I don't know, because now right? So we're more accepting of that because of how society trained us, right?
Correct.
Raised us. But when you become we're good and grown, we got families, we got responsibilities, we get up and make it happen every day, right? We look at the bigger picture because with that lifestyle or any other lifestyle that society deems unsavory, right? There's consequences that come with that. And now just add in if you're African American, right? Now double down if you're a Black woman, the most disrespected species on earth, right? So I'm not looking at it so much from you're choosing an alternative lifestyle. I'm like, yo, do you know what's about to come with all of that?
Absolutely.
You already get anyway.
So your own community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, from the Black church to wherever you go. So, and again, as a Black woman, and you do all this stuff, you're gonna have a hell of a life to live.
Let me ask you this: since you said a word that triggers the church, right? Do y'all think that in particular the Black church? Do y'all think the Black church is all inclusive?
Hell no.
No.
And I ask that question because if we are out here supposed to be manifesting the word of Christ and trying to change people's minds, I feel like sometimes the Black church does a great job of shunning instead of If you're all inclusive, you're inviting. You want the gay people to come in.
But
too.
that's where we go wrong.
And the drunks and the hoes and the pimps. We want all of them, but we don't
Absolutely.
want gay people.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Because they can say, right?
Tambourine. So, any do you think the black church is not?
Yeah, you know they not. And like, let's seriously, you know, like just like in life in church, there's levels to this, right? Yeah, you know, if you can come in with an alternative lifestyle, you got a couple dollars.
I don't know though. I don't know. It's some churches in Delaware you could walk into and you could definitely see people that's a part of the church members and all that are for sure.
Because they're not going to turn around membership. When you turn around membership, you turn away dollars, right?
Oh.
Now, by and large.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
However, you know, I mean, listen, I've been to churches where they may accept the person, but still.
And you can't always tell either.
And they rebuke the behavior, right? So you can separate the message from the messenger.
Absolutely.
Right? You know, but in the black church, in the African American church, and I've been in part of it since the day I was born up until right now, we are the most judgmental,
absolutely,
waving, backslide, contradictory,
absolutely
group of on God's earth. And I can tell you that, and I can speak generally because I get every church I've been to, right?
Okay.
There's no knock against the church, right? Because we're human and we all got our flaws. But I'm gonna accept this, but I may not accept that. Right. That's just the black church. It
Man.
That's
black folk. Black. we accept R. Kelly, but not you.
Yeah.
My God.
When the young people say 6 7.
Yeah, we're not accepting neither. Neither.
What we do. It depends on it's selective.
No, leaving children are out of it. I don't care what nobody says. If you're a child, you cannot be messed with. That's disgusting.
No.
I don't care about that part.
Separate the man from the music.
Yeah.
People, I mean, I still
no, the music. We're not talking about his talent and his gifts that God gave him. We're talking about his decision making. I do not agree with his decision making.
But if you dig, and this is no excuse,
he cannot roll with me.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. But I think we have to also take a look at his history and what happened to him. Because people just don't become monsters.
Every day you wake up, you got a choice as an adult, especially with that type of money. You got a choice. Somebody around you better figure it out. That's not an excuse. I can't excuse it.
I'm just telling you, either to make you shy away from it because you know how it feels to do that to somebody, or to make you be more into it.
We're talking about the man that sung, he had 1 million fans in the crowd and stuff like that. He can't get a grown woman?
I'm just saying in general. I'm just saying Trump will make you do stuff that you typically, listen, I went to school with this guy. Matter of fact, he did it now, one of my old Lincoln homeboys. I tell this story, we was going into Christmas break. We typed the whole time. We had a little crew of us, about 5 fellas. We'd be sitting there talking, shooting the shit every day. He'd be talking, damn, she got a fat ass, blah, 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 blah. We there shooting the shit. And then going into Christmas break, we had oral presentations. So I had kind of went early. So me and my man, we was in the back just like bullshitting for the next couple of classes because we was done. So he gets up there and he's talking. Of course, I'm not paying attention because I'm done. And I hear him say, part of the reason it was on sexual abuse. He said part of the reason I would never hurt a child is because I was sexually abused by my father. And I think that contributed to me being gay. And that's all I heard. I ain't heard shit he said, but
wow.
I heard him say that contributed to me being gay. I was like, what? You gay? That's how he came out to the class like that. And you know, at Lincoln, you were the same people.
That's crazy.
The same people for 2 years. Some may drop out, but nobody new comes in. It's the same crew when you start. The cohort, exactly. And I was like, you gay? And he been living out loud ever since. That's how he came out to us. But I tell you what, from that point where that happened going into Christmas break, when we came back in January, it was real weird. All of a sudden, he wasn't sitting with us talking about women. Right. I guess he was like over that shit.
Word.
Wow.
And you say he's in your group now, or the guy?
We had a group text. He's my man. He, I wasn't as mature.
He's still gay? I don't think you could be ungay, but I don't know. I'm not sure.
2008, what was that? 18 years ago. I wasn't as mature then as I am now. It's all love. I mean, he's been
respectfully, yeah.
And he's like he had an outpatient counseling program. A great guy. it just threw me because he was over there with us bullshitting for like a whole semester, blah, 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 blah. Then he hit us when he was gay. So it just threw me up for a loop.
He was part of the locker room talk.
He was part of the locker room talk, and then that was kind of his fun away.
Yeah. All that locker room talk wasted.
We should have told him nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, now that's my man. That's my man. But listen, let's hit it. I feel like I don't want it because it's my guy. I don't want him to think I'm being disrespectful. So back in October, and this all plays into me as far as parenting and stuff too. Back in October, during homecoming season, a person was killed and 6 people were injured during a shooting at Lincoln University. And I just saw yesterday that 3 people have been arrested for that crime, which is, I'm impressed that they even, I mean, it's April, but I mean, it's May, but you know, I feel like they don't solve no crimes around here. But 3 people have been arrested for that. And the thing that struck me the most is that is not, we're not talking about the people that got hit, that didn't die, but I'm just going to talk about the 3. That's 4 young Black lives gone, 1 eternally, and the other 3 probably, you know, physically. I mean, physically you'll be in jail probably for the rest of your life. Like to me, that's so disappointing. And I feel like if you go to an event like that and you carrying a gun, like you're, in my mind, you're looking for trouble.
They said their plan was to rob some like the attendees and stuff. That's what they said.
And they were involved in some bank robberies too. That was also, I didn't put that part in there, but they were also been accused of like a couple of bank robberies. Those 3 guys that shot people out there. Like, how do we get around this campus violence? Somebody, May 4th, somebody was shot at Del State. None fatal, but they were shot at Del State. I hate, and this happens at white PWIs all the time, mass shootings all the time, right? But I just hate when those things happen at PWIs. I feel like it doesn't have the same effect as when it happens on our campus. I feel like we're all painted with the same brush, one large stroke. Look at them again. We can't, you know. And I just feel like our kids don't value life at this current time. And I don't know. I want to maybe try to have some kind of solution focus, you know, a few minutes of commentary about that. If you guys have anything maybe you want to add to that, just how we can kind of get around this campus vibe. Like, you're there to learn. And here's the crazy part. These kids weren't college kids.
I was about to say 9 times out of 10, it's not the kids that go there. Yeah, they're not the ones that go there. You got open campuses.
Yeah. But I wouldn't even put it on, you know, just as happening now. I mean, you gotta look at the 90s at Del State and how much.
It's a lot of fighting though, Corey.
No.
But
there was a lot of gunfire up there too.
You think?
Oh yeah.
It's just social media and all that wasn't there.
Exactly. There you go. Trust me, I didn't go to no classes at Del State, but I hung out at Del State at parties, and yeah, it was a lot of stuff going on out there. But I mean, again, when you got open campuses and these different things, it's tough. It's tough on security. Security ain't getting paid no money. You know, security can't really. Most of them, I don't know around here. They're not really carrying no guns.
Well, they have campus police now. They do have a campus police force. Like, these are
okay.
certified.
So yeah, UT where I'm at, UT they got
5 police. They got guns.
But I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of space out there for them to cover the
right. And that many people.
It's rough. It's tough. I don't know where to go with it though, man. But it happens. It's crazy, but it happens.
Yeah, I think now for us, it hit a little different because we got babies in college, right? So when we hear about it, it more.
And my kid was at that homecoming that night when the shooting happened. She was a mess.
Very close to it. So one, I think we as parents with the babies in college, we kind of we're more sensitive to campus violence, right? Because I could tell you prior to that, we probably didn't, oh man, that's sad, but we didn't internalize it the way we do now, right? Also, again, if you look at the violence in our community in general, it was bound into the college.
Yeah.
Right? First of all, you got a lot of kids in the hood who can't afford to go to college, right? But they want the college experience.
They friends is going, somebody going.
So you bring in a certain mentality onto the campus, right? Then you look at and when you look at the context of how we are, no snitching, defund the police, like all of that stuff plays a major part of the culture of college. I know for a fact those dudes that they got they've been they know who they were. You know, I just know some people on the inside. They've been knowing who they were
for a long time.
Yeah, like, dudes been turning up. They've been rolling on all they boys. They like giving up tapes on everybody. So they just came public with it now because they got all the information, and that's just this particular situation. But to your point, I think as a whole, our community is not only are we desensitized to the violence and the murder. Again, if you want to watch somebody die, just click on TikTok or Instagram, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We're so desensitized to it that now it's entertainment, right? So I don't think it's that they don't value life. Like they don't think this life is real. Like it's not real to them. I remember I worked
GTA to them.
Yeah, I worked in school for 1 year, man. I never forget. I worked at the high, at Chester High.
Ooh.
Bro, first of all, when I went there, I had to go through 2 metal detectors.
East Side High.
I had to walk.
No, it ain't that bad.
I walked through 2 metal.
No, Eastside High. I thought you were talking about Howard. No, it wasn't that bad.
Yo,
Eastside High ain't that bad.
Right? And I remember I used to run. They had a mental health program there.
Shout out to Howard.
And it was on a lower level, right? That was for the alternative school, right? And that group of kids.
Call it. They can say the bad kids were downstairs.
Yeah. And you walk in, go through 2 metal detectors, you go down to literally a basement. It was a dump, right? They cut us off some offices. I had a couple of social workers and psychiatrists, part-time, whatever. So those kids, those alternative kids, right? They were downstairs, but a part of the IEP, blah blah blah. You got to go get therapy. So we got a whole team of therapists working hard, trying to whatever. So I'll never forget it. I will never forget it. It's 2 incidents that stand out to me. Well, 3. My first day, I got there. I never been called a D-head so many times in my life. Right?
Yeah.
I just don't want to. So I haven't been called. I haven't been cursed out by kids. Like that was my like welcome to the to our world, bro. Right? I was like couldn't believe it because my mom was my teacher from 3rd and 6th grade.
Oh
right?
wow!
Like, I'm a grown man. I won't even curse it. I will go home and I see my growing up. I'm still tucking my little drink or whatever.
Yeah.
That was one incident. Second incident, no lie. Second incident, I remember when they would have like lunch or breakfast, staff would have to go up to the cafeteria, get their little ration and bring it out to the crew downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
That's crazy, right?
I was backed up, and I was telling this cat, I'm like, yo, go upstairs, tell the cafeteria lady, give y'all food, right? He's like, nah, we can't go up to Gen Pop.
Wow. That's what he called it.
That's pipeline we always talk about. And
damn.
The third thing
he was preparing himself already.
Look, the third thing that really sitting in, I said, I don't ever want to work in the school district again. It's hard, man. I remember this dude. That's what Chief Keef first came out. Right? So I tried to connect with the kids with the music. This dude, I never forget this cat. He was they were rapping a song, and he said, "Yo, it'd be so hard if I was to go over to my ops." And that was the Bennett. These departments used to beef. Said if I was to go over to the Bennett, and yo, they put they hit me with the switch and Swiss cheese me up. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, they were to shoot me up and Swiss cheese me up and kill me, man. That'd be hard. I said, dude, do you realize that when you get switched up, that you're not coming back? I said, do you know how many people you would devastate? And I said, you can't even glorify it because you're not even here. Like, this dude really thought that it was cool for him to get killed. And that's when I said, yo, we in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. They want to be on the t-shirts.
You ain't gonna see it.
But that's valuable. That RIP so long live LL. Little Keith.
You know what's sad though? We wouldn't have that many deaths if we had life insurance because we'd be eating their pockets up. Think about it. That's another reason why they're allowing us to shoot each other up like we do.
That's one of the biggest businesses in America.
Absolutely.
Listen, life insurance, car insurance, and daycare. Them the hustles.
Yeah.
We all should be in one of the 3 of them.
Yeah, right for there. Real.
You watch a kid for a week for $800.
Yeah,
but we doing wrong. One kid, not the whole program. One kid.
I was thinking about starting a little daddy daycare. I'd take 3 kids. We'll go everywhere for a week. $800 a piece. We good money. Nah, no.
Your original question about the school violence and campus violence, right? I think a lot of times when we see that, we'll say our piece and pontificate or whatever. But I think also as parents and people who have kids in school and as community, like we have to be the ones that galvanize some type of change, right? Because we'll hear about it and we'll moan and groan and we'll feel bad, you know what I'm saying? But it don't hit home until it hits home.
Yeah.
Right? And again, like even in the work I do, right? I kind of question myself, like, would I be doing this if I couldn't swipe the insurance card or get paid over it? You know what I'm saying? So I think, if we want to evoke some kind of change, we really have to stop being on bystanders and on the sideline, and really put ourselves in positions where we, galvanize and evoke some kind of change. Because, I have a 16-year-old son, 6'3", 240. He said 218. I don't know where you get that from. His birthday, he turned 16.
He plays sports. Golly.
He turned 16 on May 5th, right? And when I look at him, like, sweet dude.
He's intimidating to them people.
And all they see is a big black boy. You know, got his little starter locks.
There's a book called the Big Black Boy
with locks.
Something. It talks about it talks about how white people view big black kids.
Yes.
And you can see it in real time, because when I was working at the start,
they get startled. They get startled in real life.
The kids who were, you can have a kid that is a little light skinned, curly hair, a monster. You can have a kid with a black nappy hair, maybe a little smelly, not dressed as well. They have the same behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
That fat, black, smelly kid catches hell from the team.
Oh yeah.
Over here gets coddled and loved.
Yeah.
Like, it's even within us.
Yeah.
And I work with a bunch of women, so they naturally gravitated to.
Yeah.
He was just as wrong as him, but he always had an out because of how he looked.
Wow.
And this is another thing too. I think as far as parents, like, we spend a lot of time counseling these kids. The counselor need to be with the parents.
Damn right.
I think we are, but we can't force them into it. But I think if a 15, 16-year-old has a baby, in order for you to get public service, you should automatically have to go to counselor at that point. Because these are the people that are, not all, but these are some of the people that are, and I see it all the time, the kids cursing, look, you bitch, blah, blah, and everybody's laughing. You think it's funny when they're little. These are the kids now at 12, and they're bigger. Now they're calling you a bitch and a hoe, mama, because dad's not around. And now these are the same ones that's out shooting up campuses. It starts early. And if we don't catch it at 2, 3, like my mom always said, if you understand no, if I tell you to do something, if I tell you don't do something and you don't do it, I know you understand no. So the next time you do it, I'm gonna whoop your ass. I don't care if you 2.5, 16 months, whatever the fuck. Now you get ass whoopings because I know you. I told you don't do that, and you understand that. And I think, and I'm not saying ass whoopings are the end all be all, but they damn sure didn't hurt us.
And I don't think it's you know me.
I ain't never heard no.
I don't know. I just feel like this generation, the tap going to turn into I'm gonna kill my dad when I get older, because that's what they on.
And guess what our parents said? Call the police.
But I think it's more of a respecting and understanding with them, this generation. So like, if you sit down and talk to your kids, the ones, if you talking to them, you have that relationship with them, you shouldn't have that many. You don't have the issues. Yeah.
So you can't have the physical discipline and not have that conversation.
Correct.
And the love.
Because now it's like abuse at that point. Like you just angry beating somebody.
I got physical discipline, but I got the conversation that came along with that. That's like
me too. That's how I was.
Somebody hit and then and not say nothing, come back like it's all good. Like you got to have that conversation.
Correct.
After?
After, like you gotta
But we but we good in our community. We
You can't hear no.
I'm not opposed to beatings. I just, like I said, I've beat my kids before, maybe like once or twice, each of them. I've never beat my daughter. I'm not. It's no need to. I don't think, because she's not really ever done anything like that. I felt like it needed a beating, but I just don't think.
We soft on them gals anyway.
Yeah, I believe so, but I don't think that is that's the way for them. Like beating them turns them into more of a monster. Like they don't register that the right way. It's like they don't like me, they hate me. It's like, no, we're trying to reprimand you and discipline you because I told you before don't do it, and now this is the next consequence. These kids a little different.
Look, I tell my wife, yo, you get the girl. Like if my kids, they'll sort of like, okay, it's like, because I make a lot of idol threats, but they know I ain't gonna really do
Correct.
Be my kids either. But I've had to pop them before.
Yeah, I've done that.
Talk about like, oh yeah, dad always beat them. I'm like, when have I? You know what I'm saying? But again, if you don't have that conversation before and during and after, like, all they're gonna remember is the physical violence.
Yeah. Right? Nowadays you get called diapers and all that. You gotta be careful.
Yeah,
it's a different ball game. And I say this to say, then we're gonna pivot. I think the earlier you are involved with the conversation and with a little bit of discipline, the less you have to do it later on. Because I know with my kids, I could just be like, you know what, I'm bothered by that. I'm upset by that. And that could break my kids down for the most part. Yeah. I don't gotta get physical. I don't have to, because if you have that relationship with your kids and you guys are, and you form a relationship like that, I talk to you, we go, I hear you, you hear me. I think that curbs a lot of the nonsense.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't have to be.
Yeah, for me, she did the beating. I didn't beat nobody.
Yeah.
Now, if I took something away from them that they really like, I think that little hurt a little bit more than the beating.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sounded like he loved his games and all that stuff.
Oh, that eats it up.
He tightens up.
Yeah.
Don't. That was my girl, but woo.
Yeah.
She did it.
Let me really quick, we're going to pivot into, look, we're almost at the end, but we didn't even get to the main topic. All right, so let me pivot real quick. The real winner one says, Eli, do you think it's just those kids or the quiet ones? Everyone think it's good. Real winner, I want to make sure I address Tim exactly what you're referring to when I come back to you. Oh, he says, I don't think that tap tap would turn you into a kill and turn into you being killed later. We're addressing you. You can form love and respect and a healthy fear in your kids to where you won't always have to beat them. And I grew up with the healthy fear.
Yeah, I respect that. Like, I'm cool. I grew up with that. Like, my mom put belt to me a few times. Like, I got my last beating was in 6th grade. I never got beat again because she did me. Yeah, she got me right. And then after that, it was like beatings don't really mean it. You got to you might have to pop me in my chest or something, but I'm still a boy. So like my dad, if he comes, he's like, oh, I don't even want to get hit. Like the lecture, you start breaking down crying. Like, damn. So it's like, it's a little different. I don't know. And I also don't want to get my kids used to getting beat on or thinking they can do it to someone else too. Yeah, I don't play that game.
Like everything don't warrant a butt whooping, right?
Correct.
Like boys are gonna be bullied. Yeah, like your dad probably would like let you slide. Like, oh, he's a boy, let him go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, listen, let's pivot real quick because we rolling. All right, so of course, so I have a question for you all at the table. Are we doing better than our parents? And I don't mean financially or anything like that. Mentally and emotionally, are we doing better than our parents? And let me give you
that's a good question.
An example. I saw my mother cry one time in my whole life, and I was about 8. It's when who I thought was my daddy died. That's a whole other podcast show. But I remember being at the funeral and I was sitting on her lap, and the man who I thought was my biological dad was there. All my siblings dad, but not mine. And I heard my mom and I turned around and looked, and she was sobbing over a man she hadn't been with in 8 years. And that made me cry. I wasn't crying because he was dead in that casket. I'm a kid. I didn't really know the reality of death at that time. I didn't realize it. But that made me really cry. Because I saw her emotional. And that's the only time I ever saw her emotional. I never saw her have a mental breakdown and be like, I fucking can't take it anymore. I never really saw it. And I know she went through stuff. Of course she did, especially back in the 70s and 80s when I was coming up and where we lived at.
We was poor, baby.
Like we were just PO. We couldn't afford the other OR.
Oh shit.
So I know things were affecting her, but do you guys think we're embracing life mentally and emotionally much better than our parents may have? And
I'm about to say, for me, it's a little. I think because I'm 30. I just turned 30, so it's like I'm still. Yeah, thank you. I'm still trying to figure that part out as well because they're still parenting me sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because my generation, we still we grew up fast, but we didn't grow up fast in the right ways. So it's like scaling back. And I had my kids at 17, like he was speaking on. So I had 2 kids at 17, and I'm on my way to college to go play ball. That's totally different. So my whole life switched up. So it's like the thing. Yeah. Yeah, so but I've seen my mom have children late, like she had me later, and I was her only child, and the way you maneuver is different. So her emotional and her mental, of course, I think was better than where I was because I was 17.
Yeah.
And I'm just
So how
still.
old was your mother when she had you? Do you know?
She was just turning 30.
So okay,
She was already, yeah, she was stable.
Now that you're 30.
Oh, I'm in go mode. Like my mentality has totally changed. Like I love having children right now because it's like, okay, I can really set them up. I can really do this. That's all I'm focused on. If it ain't about capital or making sure my kids get the NIL deals or whatever they want, I don't want to hear about it.
But are you in a better place mentally and emotionally than your mom was at your age? Do you think?
I don't think so. My mom was married, about to have me. Okay. So as a woman, her life is great. I think. You know what I mean? Sure. And then for my dad, it's probably the same way. He's married to my mom. They about to have me. He's thinking, all right, I'm finally faithful. I can do it. Yeah. Now, years later, I could probably tell you, nah, I'll probably make some better decisions than my dad will. Yeah. But at that time, you said at 30, I think my parents were doing pretty good. You know, they both came from different places, but they were doing well at 30 for themselves. Like they both had careers. Yeah. So I gotta give my condolences and shout outs to them for sure. Especially my mother. Like she definitely did her big one. Yeah. So I don't know.
That's tough. You're saying emotionally.
And mentally, you're in a better place than your parents were when they were raising you. As far as you know, because we were kept out of the home business for the most part.
That was about to say that's another thing too. Yeah, I didn't know a lot until I got older.
Hindsight being 2020. Think it back to it.
My dad was a disciplinarian, number one. Shout out to my dad because he's gonna turn 80 Saturday.
Shout out to him, yeah. Saturday. What's the date on the Saturday?
The 9th.
Okay. Yeah, my dad's the 11th. Shout out to them.
He raised 5 of us, and now 6 actually. Little brother came a little bit later, but the first time I see my dad cry is Christmas when we were doing exchanging gifts. I wasn't exchanging gifts, so I had no money. I didn't have no job. So my gift was your presents. Not only that, what everyone in the family meant to me and all that. So when I got to my dad, I really expressed, the things that I do in life is because of him. Some of the good decisions I made. Some of the bad decisions I made that he always told me, like we said, hindsight 2020. My dad told me a lot of stuff I shouldn't do, and if I did, this was going to happen, and that's what happened.
He was not wrong.
And he was not wrong. And I told him, I said, man, Dad, I love you for that. And never see my dad cry. And that day right there, he cried, and the whole family was like, they started crying. Yeah. Crying, but now my dad is more of, man, he can't let everybody I love you, when I call him, so it comes out a lot now. Yeah. Again, mom was always mom. Mom was the one, she let her husband be a husband. Yeah. She sometimes felt like, oh man, maybe I should have did this different. No, you was a wife that your husband do what he was doing.
That's a good stuff.
He led the household.
Yeah.
The Charles fans said,
we need more of them. We need more of them in the world. Yeah, I'm telling you.
I was telling you, he was more of James Evans than Dr. Huxtable. But real talk though, man.
Both just as effective though.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, he taught all his kids, if you don't work, you don't eat. You can't run around this life trying to just get by. He used to ask me this question. Now I wrap mine up. I used to bring home C's and D's. Education still under investigation. But that's how you feel about that. He says it's average. I said, yeah, average is good. He said, you want to go through life being average? And I thought about that for a long time. Like, man, average is not good. I'm above average now. I'm telling you right now.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because the conversation that he had as a man trying to teach me to be a man. He asked me, you think you're a man because you got here with a kid? And I was like, yeah, no, you ain't.
My dad used to say stuff like that to me too. Like, you ain't a man yet.
You no man.
Yeah.
You ain't taking care. You're not taking care of your kid.
Yeah.
I'm taking care of all y'all. That's what you should be doing. That
100.
That broke me. I'm like, yeah, I got here.
I'll never forget my dad gave me that scripture in the Bible. and it was the one where you worse than the infidel, not taking care of your children or something. Yeah, it changed my life forever. And he did it right when they was born, but it was like it didn't really hit till they was like 2, 3, and I'm like, dang, I'm away. Nah, I gotta get back. They really like, yeah. God start moving stuff when you take care of what you need to take care of. Yeah.
Are you in a better place mentally and emotionally than you, as far as you know? Because they didn't tell us shit.
Right. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like I look at my parents. Like my parents been married like over 55.
Amen. That's how my grandparents were.
Awesome. I can remember the maturation of their marriage, man. Like back when they was like young and
they go back.
Yeah, that's love.
Yeah. They just when you see them, like they don't even have a identity anymore. It's both Miss Haley and Miss Haley, right? But I've just seen them like grow so much, and the nucleus of our family is grounded in my parents, right? My dad didn't say a lot, my mom, she ran my dad. I mean, my mom ran the whole. She had all boys, right? And she was one woman.
Oh yeah, she the queen. She's definitely gonna run that.
She did play. And I remember my dad used to always say, "Listen, you can do whatever you want to do, but I'm gonna do what I need to do to make sure your mama ain't mad at me." Right?
Yeah.
So they had a very simple life. Right?
That's good.
They made the main thing the main thing. They instilled like tradition and values in me.
Awesome.
I've been around the world and some good places, some bad places, but I can go back to my mom and my dad. My church growing up, with the motherboard, the deacons, and them telling me things like spit gum out, like disrespect, like on respect alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when I came to Delaware, I mean, even now I still say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, and I saw people get offended about that.
Yo, that's crazy. Cause so after high school, I went down North Carolina. My aunt, she been down there since 2008, but I love Charlotte.
Yeah.
And they say that down there, and I started just saying it all the time, and I'm like, nah, that's pretty dope. Like it shows more respect. So when I came back up here, I'm not no ma'am. I ain't that old. How old you think? Hold on, wait a minute. I said, oh yeah, I need to go back down south. That's crazy.
You say it in front of some of the people you think of your peers, they think, oh, you just bootlicking, you just because this is I address you like that. Yes, sir. It's not even a joke when I say yes, sir. Like I'm serious.
Yeah,
yes, sir. So even your peers that think like, oh, that ain't cool. Nah, you got the respect. That's what the problem is.
Yeah.
Dang, that's a real thing up here. That's crazy.
Yeah, I really do think that I don't think I have the simplicity of my parents because when you learn more, you get more, it's more burden and consequences with that. I'm always on the go, whatever. And I think that from financially, absolutely, but from just being enjoying the moment, being present, and there you go.
You know what? And we talk about this all the time. So when we go back home, right? We get ready to go in a couple of weeks, right? And me and him talk about how he and I are running around working 2, 3 jobs. Say work for this program, he running a program, work for another program, and how we doing all this stuff. And we get home, and our point is simply work 9 to 5, 7 to 3. That's it.
Chilling.
And then when they come home with a case of beer at the end of the workday.
like we always say, like something wrong with us because they found their cheat.
They figured it. They got the cheat code.
They found they found their happy place.
They live in their house.
That's crazy. That's how I be feeling right now, trying to find the cheat code for my life.
Yo, they are way less stressed than us.
We stress
way less responsibility.
We on vacation stressing about being on vacation. So.
Listen, these cats are lit. I'm like, what the hell? I said, what are we doing wrong? Like it's amazing, bro. Like they get out of work, they don't get that case of beer. They might get a smoke a blunt or something. They gonna get it the next day. But every day is a good day, and it ends at 3 or 5. We working at 8, 9 o'clock.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Let me say this too.
It's
real. We have more education. They have high school. No, not. I'm just saying we have more education, and they are work way less and live a better. I feel like they almost live a better quality of life.
So let me say this.
Oh, shit.
You guys are doing that extra thing. You're trying to make differences in people's lives. Right. So I work and shoot. I'm on vacation and having to bring my laptop up here because I still had to get some stuff
to do. Yeah.
But the thing is yeah, you say that, but you gotta realize what you're doing and the difference you try to make in people's lives. People are not taking that extra step. They want to do. I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna come home. I'm gonna get my beer and I'm gonna chill.
Yeah, it's easy to do that.
Y'all go to work. You say, well, I got this program to do. I want to do this program. I want to set this up. I want to set this up. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You're trying to achieve something, and again, your kid is looking at you. So you got people looking at you. And I say the same thing with my son, my daughter. Like, I want y'all to see what I'm doing, so I'm not out here slacking.
Yeah.
I want y'all to make sure y'all don't slack. That's what my dad showed me. He is not. My dad worked a full-time job, Army Reserve, part-time job, owned a couple of clubs. He was out there doing his.
So I got a question for y'all then, because y'all like, we work smarter, not harder. Is that a like? Where's that gap? Where's that bridge need to be? Because it's like, you put in 60 hours, you busting your ass. I mean, you wear and tearing your body just to like maintain. And you got kids that's 20 years old making 60 grand a month on a YouTube, or you know, it's like
it comes with the generation because you guys are fearless, right? You in your mind, and I'm not saying you in general,
correct,
but this generation, they think from a entrepreneurial standpoint, right? No, like I own 2 businesses, right? Been for 10 plus years, a nonprofit and a for-profit, right? Nobody ever told me that I could be a business owner.
Wow.
Right? This generation, nobody need to tell them.
Right.
Yeah.
I ain't working for nobody.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sell my merch. I'm gonna play my game, and that's
Yeah.
that fearlessness that they got. I love it. I really do. I love it.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and this is crazy that you said that because I think what's his name, Cameron. That he was saying the same thing. Like there's something on TikTok where they just do some face-to-face stuff and people just click and they just making money and they not.
Oh yeah, like they act like they eating power pellets and all this old crazy. Like this generation, man.
Yeah.
They're thinkers. They're gonna always look for the hustle, but
They're
they're
more
gonna work
risk
for themselves.
takers than we were. Because we were starting to get a job, work there for 30 years, retire.
But we also have more opportunity. Like, y'all don't got AI. Like, we can literally,
But we got it.
yeah, you can literally make a website with nothing. Like, we could do.
We when we think about ownership, where we coming from, get a little land, get a trailer, get a little couple chickens.
Okay.
Whatever.
I mean, that's still a good goal.
Business, right? Yeah. However, I think I'm speaking I statements, right? I was told like, yeah, get a job, go down to the lamp factory. This so happened I could play a little basketball, so I got a little scholarship. I screwed that up, right? So I was exposed to certain things that my parents weren't exposed to.
Correct.
But I was always afraid though, right? Even when I got the opportunity, even now, I'm gonna tell you that the first thought in my mind is never that I can do something, right? I'm always, wherever I go now, I got the most letters, most education, the most lived experience, blah, blah, blah. That don't even mean nothing because the first thing I'm saying is that, man, they looking at this country black dude from Turl, Arkansas, and they judging me, blah, blah, blah. That's what I've had growing up and made me, and my parents didn't do this. It's just kind of the way it was, right? So again, when I look at this generation, they're fearless. They're gonna go out there. They can fumble 3 or 4 bags, and they're gonna go out and
they
go
feel like they're gonna get it back. we get a little stuff. We hold on. Life out of that dollar. Yeah. Now it is. It's a generational thing, and I also, like you said, for us in particular, we were never made to feel like we could do whatever we're doing. Like not that we could, but no, because the people that we were around hadn't done it, so they couldn't see it to say you could do it.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know. And I think me and him, we've had a lot of conversations about giving our parents, uncles grace because they didn't like even like a pension or 401k. I never had anybody in my family retire from anything. So there's nothing nobody could tell me about retirement. So therefore, because of that, I got a late start in IRA, 401k. Like I got a late start in those things where I'm like 20 years behind. When I should have already been, like, even with my daughter now, like at 26, almost 27, the last 3-4 years, I'm like, start now. I said, I know it, because at 22, you're not thinking about retiring. You're not thinking about I'm gonna be at this job for you. Never know what the hell.
Yeah.
But even if you end up leaving that job, like she just left her job after 8 years, but she had already been putting money into her 401k. Now she's moved on, and at 27, she's making $95K. At 27, I was probably making with 2 jobs $45. So
Yeah, she's straight
kids
there.
are definitely way advanced than we were. Definitely this current generation. But it's all about what you know and who pours into you to kind of help you matriculate through this thing.
So because you said that, is it what you know or who you know?
Yeah.
Who you know is important.
Because my question was followed by my son. Is
Yeah.
it what you know or who you know?
It's who you know. I feel like,
Yeah.
cause
That goes along.
Cause my talent and skill with what I do, I could have definitely been in some rooms that some people in.
I think it's definitely who you know. It's a little bit of what you know, but I think, and again, I always speak from the African American community, right? Because I've been Black all my life. I've been a man all my life, right? I think once we know something, we got to tell something.
Sure. Yeah.
We don't do that.
Gatekeeping.
One of the things that I've been very blessed to be exposed to a lot of different environments, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I make sure I share that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like your point, you were just saying how we weren't taught about retirement pension. You kind of just work until you die. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas now you're telling Bunzy about like, yo, do your pension, do your 401, right? So now you've already pushed the pendulum with your kids now because you're doing something earlier that I didn't do. Yeah. And that's what it's about. That's how you pay it forward, right? So again, I don't blame my parents for certain things they didn't do for me because they didn't even know they wasn't doing
and nobody told them.
Right.
And I think we miss that point sometimes. We want people, like when we become an adult and we're like maybe in a struggle period and we're like, well, why didn't our parents tell us this? Well, nobody told them. So nobody told their parents. So like how bad shit is passed down or lack of information is not passed down. It all happens. It all happens the same way. And it has us a little effed up sometimes. Let me read some comments, y'all, really quick. Let me go back up because the winner, I know who the winner is now. It dawned on me when he started talking about his Jamaican father. He said, so yes, we're doing better because we have more outlets to cry and complain to. Social media hurts and it helps at the same time. So I do think Black men are in counseling at a better rate than ever in probably our lifetime. It says boomers, going back to his father, had to work harder. Realer and had no outlet, but maybe just their spouse. He says, nah, Chaz, having a baby might have been a happy feeling, but there's fear of the unknown financially, relationship-wise, and more. He says, fellas, I've never seen my crazy Jamaican dad cry. Let's talk about that in a second. I've never seen my crazy Jamaican dad cry. He did that signature Jamaican, stuck in his teeth and kept it pushing. Plus, we doing better because even with Trump, Blacks have more opportunities to come up. Back then, ninjas were forced to warehouse jobs and less. Oliver says, I learned later in life that my kids appreciate me in the bleachers cheering for far more than any professional gains or material blessings. Agree. And I don't think our kids look at us from that perspective. With all of our accomplishments, they're not worried about that. Where are you present? I don't care if my dad is a goddamn garbage man or running an executive director of a company. Was he present at my games?
Yeah.
Did he? You know what I'm saying? So, though, I think that's a great point. That might be their chance. I don't mind this shit sometimes. So yeah. So let's. Did anybody not say anything they wanted to say? I don't want to leave anybody out. No. All right. Let me go back. I got mad notes over here. Now where we at? All right. We 8 minutes over. We're gonna hit one more thing. We're gonna hit it and quit it.
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire. So one of the things I wrote down here was, I think our parents, one of the things that happened with our parents is they were more concerned about survival and trying to take care, make sure we ate, make sure we had what we needed. Not necessarily what you wanted, but you damn sure had. You might have had some sneakers from Walmart, or I remember getting my sneakers from Payless and Walmart as a kid. People are like, what? Walmart ain't been around. I said, no, Walmart's from Arkansas. It's always been a part of my life.
Oh, wow.
From Bentonville, Arkansas.
That's crazy.
Sam's Club, Walmart, Walmart.
They are the thing, yeah.
All Arkansas. So that's never not been a part of my life. I've known Walmart gear for a long time. Wrangler
That's
jeans.
crazy.
Husky.
Shit. Husky, the little fat kids had the little
thigh guys.
Yeah, the Huskies But
The Huskies is crazy.
what was I saying? I got over the goddamn change. Okay, let me ask y'all this. Growing up, because we have a better quality of life, I feel like, and I can speak for my parents, for my mom. I never saw my mom take a vacation. I never saw her say, all right, I'm going to take a week and go to Jamaica. I'm going to take a week and go. She even down to the Gulf Coast to Biloxi and chill on the beach down there.
Damn.
Did you see you guys like enjoying? Did you feel like they were enjoying life?
Yeah.
That's one thing my dad did was took us on vacations at least once, twice a year.
Privilege.
I mean, he worked hard, and the man wanted to get away, and he
right.
wanted to, take his family. Like, even though we was in one hotel room,
they made it work.
Number one, like, because my dad worked for they did this Amway thing, when Amway, get you on some trips.
The first pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
Original. That's OG pyramid.
And, they was going to a convention. We wasn't supposed to be there, but he jammed us up in that room, and that was like vacation.
All that knock off Washington.
And, had to bring the breakfast upstairs. Couldn't go down there and eat with them, but yeah, he did. He was there, but he got us away a few times, and like through all this stuff, like we thought, man, Dad, rough, but Dad made sure like there's some time to enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Then when you get back, it's back to business. Back to business. When you get back to that house, it's back to business. But while we were out, it was let's have some fun. That's what's up.
That's love.
What about you, Chaz? Chaz, I got a feeling that you went to the Hamptons.
No, I didn't go to the Hamptons, but I definitely was on vacations every year for sure.
Yeah.
About from the time I was like 6 when my mom got remarried, from the time I was 6 to about 18. Yeah, we went on trips every year. Florida. I went to All-Star Weekend like 5-6 times. Yeah. And my dad's in his 50s, my mom's in her early 60s.
Okay.
Like 60, 61. Yeah, I'm 30. Yeah, I was born 96. Yeah, I'm a youngin. Yeah. Yeah, I was, yeah. But and that's also why to go back to my answer with like the mentally stable and emotionally, like at 30, 34, my mom was going on trips with me and her family every year, like with no issues. We went on everywhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's different. I take my kids places and stuff, but it ain't that easy of a oh yeah, we out, boom, boom. Yeah, absolutely.
What about you, man? You know that. Your question.
No. So for us, vacation was, go to the Little Rock, see the parents, or go visit your family or whatever.
Damn.
When you get the income tax, that's when it's showtime. Baby.
Oh man.
But no, I mean, they did what they could when they could do it. I mean, honestly, I never was on a plane to go nowhere. We were a couple hours away.
Oh no, we was on them flights. Yeah, I used to.
But they made that little family time for us. And I mean, believe it or not, like I said, my parents, working parents, right, living in our town is very, very small, right? So on the outside looking in, you would think like, yo, y'all had it nice. Oh, we get parents in the crib. And
yeah.
My mom's a teacher. My dad was a welder or whatever, but there were certain things about like finances they really didn't understand. And looking back now when I reflect, on it, because like you can't figure nothing out or reflect on nothing when you're going through it. You have to look back. So when I reflect on it, there's some things I think they could have done differently that would have allowed us an opportunity to do certain things.
Okay.
But I never missed it because we never did.
Had it.
Yeah. Now, fortunately, when I became an adult and I got married, like that's one thing about my wife. She values like she don't care how much money I'm making, how hard I'm working.
Time.
Like, if you impacting
family
kids,
time,
like
yeah.
the ops, right? So as long as her kids ain't losing nothing or being what she feel like undervalued or even herself, like her, that's the yin to the yang thing.
Yeah.
I'm focused on the, on trying to create a foundation.
Generational wealth. Yeah.
There, like, and they appreciate that. Like, my daughter, she works for me, right? Now, granted, she don't work the way she needs to work, but I want to show her that, like, hey, you can do, like, you don't have to, work for someone.
Absolutely.
Right? And I impart wisdom on them because I don't spend a lot of like time with them in terms of like, time like their mom does.
Absolutely.
But I have my little quality moments with them where I try to drop some knowledge on them. But growing up, I mean, again, my parents did the very best they could with the knowledge that they had, right?
Right.
When it comes to like values, tradition, respect, those are transferable values that could take you around the world.
Absolutely.
Like, I've been in places where everybody about to shoot you out the club, and a simple, "Oh, excuse me, man, might get by." You know what I'm saying? You see people bucking at you. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you." Right?
Absolutely.
Certain stuff like that, right? I didn't have to go to school to get a PhD to learn that. My family and my community and my tribe back home, they taught me that.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. Let me say, my vacations extended to as a kid between Mississippi to go visit family there.
Yeah, family.
Yeah. My mama was born. My mom lived in Mississippi until she was 13.
Oh yeah. You lived in Mississippi?
I never lived in Mississippi, but I'm saying we would go back and see family.
Okay.
So we would go. It'd be family reunion.
How far is that drive for y'all? Oh my gosh.
This is my point.
That is crazy.
So I'm a kid there with these adults.
We was doing that on the weekend.
And if the kids are older than me, that's no fun. So that, and I didn't really start moving around, but this was like without my mom never took a vacation. If she took off, it was because she was sick or something. It wasn't because I'm gonna put in for a week off and I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
It's because something was wrong. It was never, she worked every day until she didn't work anymore. So I never saw that part. So anything I learned about, I would hear the white kids and some of the black people who were well to do in town. "Oh yeah, we did this over the summer, blah, 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 blah." What'd you do? I was in the hood with the fellas, riding bikes and playing basketball, which was great to me.
Right.
Now, when I hit about 7th, 8th grade, I started to move around a little bit. I would go to Ohio in the summer. And then I would come to Delaware the second half of the summer. So I started gaining life experiences that my friends weren't getting. Because most we would do back then, you may have family like in St. Louis or like in Texas, but then you'd be right the hell back. So which was a different experience, but I was like going places nobody was going. So I would come back with these stories and nobody believed me.
Yeah, okay.
He was capping dead and capping.
So let me put a little disclaimer on this vacation thing.
Go ahead.
All right. So as we got older and the oldest was old enough to watch the younger kids, they go vacation by themselves.
Oh man.
Yeah, we was at the crib. So their vacation was our kind of okay. We good.
Yeah. See,
so as we got older,
so I think that
vacation by themselves, which they deserve.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that also goes with y'all, like with how society is now too, because like my parents are y'all age. So they witnessed what y'all witnessed and went through what y'all went through. So the way y'all work hard for y'all children is what I experienced. Y'all children are experiencing it.
Yeah.
So our outlook is like, it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like we blessed and highly favored. I'm not spoiled. I'm blessed and highly favored. They went to work and did what they were supposed to do. But I also don't understand not being able to get out the state.
Yeah.
Like my mom's from Jersey. We was on the 95. I should get it tatted like every day. We was on 95 every weekend.
And
going.
They don't.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Doing something or going something. You know what I mean? Like even now, like even with my kids, my 2 adult children and my baby in college, like when the greatest thing for me, it don't even have to be me and Priscilla thing, but when we're all together and we meet somewhere. My adult kids fly in and we meet somewhere. Myrtle Beach or Orlando, like we all hang out, and and when I'm sitting there at the pool, I'm saying the most full I was ever in my whole life, and I might have known me, I can't remember.
Watching them kids,
we rented a boat, and these crazy white folk let me talk. We gave me a 20-minute lesson on driving this boat.
Oh Lord, no, you didn't.
I said, I don't know what the fuck they think. I can drive a lot of shit, but I never drove a boat. So it's me, Priscilla, and all our kids on the boat. And the boat, we got the music bumping. We drive out.
Well, y'all alive, so
yeah, we made it. And you can dock the boat, and we got our water's pretty shallow, so we get out and swim, and hang out. And I remember sitting at the boat had a roof on, had a slide. You could slide down, a water slide. I was sitting at the top of that boat, and I remember just looking out at my kids and my wife. And I was just like, "Yo, boo, that choked me up."
Yeah.
Like I was just like, they were having a ball in the water all together.
That's love.
I had a beer from the white people next to me because I didn't know I could bring liquor on the boat. So I asked the white dude next to me. I said, "Hey, I said, is it possible I could buy some beer from y'all?" He was like, "Nope, but you can have it."
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Bro, because the water was like probably waist deep. So I walked back to my boat, got up to the top, and I was up there popping a beer, drinking. I was looking at my family, dude. Do you know how like that did something to me?
So, quick disclaimer: the reason why I have the outlook on certain white people is because of those experiences, just like that. Black people like, yeah, we want $5 a can, $10 a can. Nah, the white folk on the like when you in their industries or in their world, they'll take care of you. Like you being on that boat, they would have asked you for some. You want some lobster, some steak, all that. Like they good.
No, but to your point,
They would have asked you that too. You would have really been a best friend.
but to your point, and everything that we talked about tonight, what you just said, that's the only thing in this world that matters. Like that, when you talk about quality of life, that's value. Like like I can pretty much get and do whatever I want to do because I'm in butts to do that. Yeah. But when you think about like what's valuable, and the quality of life, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all that matters.
And imagine if our parents, and I'm specifically talking to you, they have a different upbringing.
Yeah.
Like imagine if our parents could have been somewhere and just watching us away doing something like that, how that would have probably filled them up. Yeah. And they never got the opportunity to do that. You know what I'm saying?
I remember he called and he described it to me, and I was visualizing it. That he's definitely right about that. And that's all the kids want. That's what's valuable. Everything else in this world is a facade.
Yeah.
So you say that, Eli. But I tell you right now, when I was young, I was going through my dad's stuff in the basement. I seen a welfare card. So that tells me like they worked their way up to what they had. We didn't start. I mean, trust me, we didn't start out living in camp.
Yeah. Right.
I think we lived in the Capitol Green. I think we lived in Palmer's Park.
Yeah.
But the green wasn't the green. It wasn't the bricks then. Okay. When I run into people that's like, oh yeah, I remember your mom and dad used to live in such and such street.
Yeah.
So they both worked to get to where they are, and people really like going to CR. Some of our people.
Y'all prestigious back when we was there.
But because me and Griff had a 2-parent household, people look at us like
y'all winning.
But they was mad with us too at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, y'all think y'all nah. Like I said, my dad sent me to school with all white sneakers with no name on them.
The Bobos.
I mean, if y'all don't remember IGA in Rodney Village, he took me in there, and I think we're going to grocery shopping.
Oh, that's a grocery store, yeah.
Dude grabbed a 2 pair of shoes off the joint.
You got Lisa D.
That's crazy.
But the lesson he taught me is, if you buy it yourself, you're going to take care of it. Hand me a paper route that next year.
Bro, that's facts.
12 years old.
That is facts.
See, y'all generations had like discipline struggle.
Yeah.
Our generations don't have discipline struggle. When we struggle, we still out partying. We still gonna do what we do, and we gonna swipe that EBT, get some crab legs, have a party, all that. No, see, when y'all were more like afraid to be on it. It was like it was shunned on. Now it's like, yeah. But now they like, girl, you got them food stamps? I need them.
Brag on that block of cheese.
Oh man.
Other than that, the greatest toast ever.
I don't even know nothing about that.
One more question, then we're gonna wrap up, y'all. And this is it's so much that we didn't cover. Do you guys, growing up, you remember your dad telling you that he loved you? How many people got that love you from the dad?
I did. I've seen my dad cry.
Yeah, like I said, it wasn't until that Christmas my adult time that I heard that.
But as
a youngster, I don't think so. It's not saying he didn't.
Were you ever inclined to say "I love you, Dad" as a youngster because you just figured it wasn't a thing that you did? My dad's a man's man. I don't really do that. Yeah. So you didn't do it.
Mm-mm.
Oh wow.
Nah. No, which I did because like I said, he taught me a lot. But did I express it to him? And maybe I was waiting for him to express it to me first. Yeah. But again, that Christmas, something just said this might be the time. And I think I was probably 23.
Wow.
Ish.
When he said the first time you heard him say he loved you?
Yes. Because it was an exchange. And again, Dad, if anybody listening, if you did, I apologize if I didn't remember, but I can remember them tighten ups though.
Yeah.
I guess that was his way of saying, I love you, son.
Yeah.
Do that again.
Right. What about you, Barack?
Nah, we just never said.
Yeah. What about your mother?
Never. Like it was
Really?
like I think I don't think I even started saying that until probably maybe 15 years ago.
Wow.
To your parents.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm 50 now, and I didn't start saying I'm gonna tell you. I remember one time my dad disciplined the boys for fighting, and he made us go hug and kiss each other and say "I love you." That was a discipline, and we'd rather get our asses beat than do that, right? I remember when I had my daughter, and when she was a little baby, right? And because girls do something to you, right? I remember looking in the mirror, practicing saying "I love you." Right.
Wow.
Because I just never said it. And it's so funny because as she got of age, she's just like me. Like we yard core. You know what I mean? Now my son, he's the sensitive type like his mom. But my daughter, I'm a very in your face kind of dude. She's a very in your face kind of girl. But we do now say we love each other, right? But even now to this day, it don't come easy for me. It don't come natural.
Wow.
It don't come natural for me. I'm sure Belinda listens. She'll tell you like that's a mean dude.
Wow. So I'll say, of course, my dad wasn't around, but I'm trying to think that when I would spend time with him, I don't ever remember him saying that, but I was little too. But I heard it enough from my mom and my 3 older sisters, so I never not felt like I was loved. And I think I would, and I would say this before. I've said this several times. I think I was loved to my detriment, to the point where I expected out of women what I got from my 3 sisters and my mom. And I got something different from 4 different women, and I went the early part of my life looking for all 4 of those things from one. What 4 different women gave me, I was trying to find that in one woman.
Yeah.
So they loved me to my detriment, and I'm glad they did. And I always tell a story about, I remember being 21 and in college, right? And I had dislocated I had dislocated my elbow. You know, my sister came. I'm 20 with an apartment and a car. Took me to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? So, and because of that, amount of, and I think that was a lot that was done because I didn't have a man around. Yeah. So you know, women will
overextend. Yeah.
Y'all will overcompensate because the man is not there. And luckily, I ran into coaches and different people in my life that guided me. But yeah, man, it set me back as a dude, as a man. But also, I had 2 daughters, so it prepared me for that. Yeah. And me and my kids, even my son, he's my stepson. I don't call him that. He's my son. But we never get off the phone without saying "I love you." Like my kids, "I love you, Dad." All right, love you. Like we don't get off the phone. Here's my brother. Hold on. So my brother by my real father, my real dad's name is Elijah Morris. So this is my big brother Chris. Shout out to you, Chris, man, because let me tell you something about my brother Chris. I just met him for the first time last April when our Aunt Irene died. This is my biological dad's son. He lives in Chattanooga, Tennessee. He came to Arkansas to our aunt's funeral, and the smoothest, coolest cat ever, right? And he supports this show. He reposts everything I put up. He reposts, man. He's really behind me. So Chris, thank you, man. I love you for that. But he just said, bro, your dad, our dad, was not that dude. So Chris, I'm gonna assume that I love you, hug you tight, and so I never met him. I met him when I was a little kid, but I didn't know he was my father. So I don't remember him. But my point is that I think the women in my life just love me too much, and it made me a mess. Even now, I'm a little bit of a mess sometimes. The background can sing a little bit. I don't know what you're saying. My background can sing it sometimes, but it's just because of they just want to protect me, and I appreciate them for that. But man, it took me a while, and even to this day, I'm still trying to. I think you never stop growing. I'm still always trying to find my footing. Not always, but I'm finding my footing as a man daily. It never ends because I'm in my 50s. Yeah, like it's a little bit easier and better than I was in my early 20s. But it never. My growth is
always,
always, man. Because of those damn women who just treated me like, don't touch him, he might break. We gotta protect him at all costs. And you know, that was my experience. I wish my dad had been around. I wish the one thing about my dad, I'm angry about my biological dad is that he died when I was 19 and he never came and said, hey man, I'm your dad, blah 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 blah. So that's something I carry to me to this day.
Did he know?
Yeah, he knew.
Oh, okay.
That's when my mama got pregnant. Yeah, he knew.
You know, stories be crazy. I just was asking a question.
I'm gonna show you a picture of this dude. You tell me what you think.
Okay.
That he don't know. But yeah, so that's one of the things I even as a 53-year-old man, I struggle with because I see my siblings, not Chris, of course, but I see my siblings that so me and Chris were like outside kids.
Oh, okay.
So I see my siblings that he had with his wife, they revere and adore this man. And when it's his anniversary, his death or his birthday, I see all these posts about him, and it makes me a little like damn. I wish I could have known that dude that they do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit of a thing for me. So yeah, that's my story, man. Listen,
that's a whole nother podcast.
The
point of views of the children of the father. Oh yeah, nah, he was your pop. Yeah, he was definitely your pop.
So yeah. So listen, man. Thank y'all, man. I want to thank you especially, bro, for I know we said we was going to do this, but I didn't know when it was going to happen. But thank you, bro. I know you came up and I know you spending time with your family, so thank you for taking a minute to come up here with us, man. I appreciate you, man. Chaz, of course, always welcome back.
Yeah, thank you.
April off. Good.
My birthday month. My bad.
We celebrate the day. Young people celebrate the month. That's the difference.
Birthday month. It was the birthday.
Yeah, man.
What it is about that, yo?
I just get the big piece of chicken on my day. You know what I'm saying? The actual day.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Whatever y'all got going on organization wise, let me know.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
So I'll contribute. You know, if I can't show up, I'll send something your way. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all. Ben Rock, man.
That's
Love you, bro.
love.
Appreciate
Yes, sir,
you, man.
yes,
Thank y'all. Thank you for finally showing up, man. Listen, listen, guys. Tomorrow you can check this out on YouTube. Later tomorrow you can stream it on all the streaming platforms. Thank you. I love you. Everybody who commented tonight, the real winner, my brother Chris. 1-1. Thank you guys. I love you.
What's up, Wally?
Yes, sir. Oh, important announcement. The next show will be live from Turl, Arkansas.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna be back at the crib.
That's lit.
Where we started at, man. It's gonna be cue the caption, baby.
Yep.
It's gonna be on.
That's lit.
They fingers better be fast.
Yes, sir. So see you guys in 2 weeks.
I'll
Next
be
time
there.
you see us, we'll be in Arkansas.
That's
Much love
lit.
to y'all. Thank you and good.
Straight out the South, Arkansas, where the talk is real and the vibe is raw. This South got something to say. No filters, no faking, just the truth, how we see it. So kick back, tap in.